What happens to places built for joy when the laughter stops? From a fairy tale park hidden behind a strip mall to a radioactive Ferris wheel frozen in time, these abandoned amusement parks are as haunting as they are fascinating. If you're ready to explore the eerie remains of thrill rides and forgotten dreams, just keep watching. Number 10. Tucked behind a strip mall in Maryland, the remains of Enchanted Forest once transported children into fairy tale worlds. Opened in 1955, this storybook-themed amusement park featured life-size gingerbread houses, dragons, and castle facades inspired by classic nursery rhymes. It operated for 4 decades before closing in 1995 due to declining attendance and increased competition from larger parks. For years, its pastel cottages and whimsical figures quietly decayed, partially hidden from passing drivers. Local nostalgia kept the magic alive, and many of the original attractions have since been relocated to a nearby farm for preservation. The park's scattered remnants still evoke childhood memories for those who once wandered its crooked paths. Number 9. In the booming 1980s, Heritage USA in Fort Mill, South Carolina was more than a theme park. It was a Christian empire built by televangelist Jim Bakker. At its peak, it reportedly drew from 2 to nearly 6 million visitors a year with its water park, Bible-themed attractions, and Grand Hotel. However, scandal rocked the ministry in 1987 when Bakker was accused of financial fraud and sexual misconduct, leading to the park's rapid decline. By 1989, it had shut its gates, leaving behind a surreal mix of abandoned prayer towers and water slides. Portions of the complex have been revived by other ministries, but large sections remain eerily vacant. The contrast between its once grand spiritual ambitions and current quiet decay offers a sobering view of excess and downfall. For those exploring America's more unusual ruins, Heritage USA is a reminder that not all amusement parks are built purely for fun. Number 8. Vines and trees now weave through what's left of Chippewa Lake Park in Medina County, Ohio, where roller coasters once roared. Established in 1878, this lakeside destination entertained generations of Ohio families before shutting down in 1978 due to dwindling profits and lack of modernization. Unlike other parks that were razed or redeveloped, Chippewa was simply left to rot. For over 40 years, nature's reclaimed the Midway. Rusted rides remain half swallowed by the forest, including a wooden coaster slowly crumbling into the earth. Urban explorers and drone photographers have long documented the hauntingly quiet grounds. In recent years, plans have emerged to turn the site into a public green space, potentially preserving its eerie charm. Number 7. For decades, Joyland in Wichita, Kansas was the heart of summer fun for Midwestern families. Opened in 1949, it was called the finest amusement park in the Southwest, known for its historic wooden roller coaster and iconic Laughing Joy clown marquee. But years of financial troubles and safety concerns led to its permanent closure in 2006. Once the laughter faded, the park fell into rapid disrepair, attracting vandals, fires, and urban explorers alike. Despite occasional rumors of revival, most structures have been lost to time and demolition. Still, fragments like the old carousel house and the charred skeleton of the roller coaster keep its ghostly memory alive. Number 6. You wouldn't expect a former theme park to become a hotspot for K-pop music videos, but that's exactly what happened to Yangmaland in Seoul, South Korea. Opened in the 1980s, the park catered to local families with its small-scale rides and cheerful atmosphere until dwindling attendance forced its closure in 2011. Instead of letting it vanish into obscurity, the owner embraced its quirky decay by charging a modest entrance fee for photographers and filmmakers. Today, faded carousels and rusting bumper cars serve as backdrops for everything from romantic photo shoots to music videos. Unlike many abandoned parks, Yangmaland remains partially maintained, with its neon-lit carousel occasionally flickering to life on request. Its mix of nostalgia, surrealism, and low-budget charm makes it especially beloved among younger Korean creatives and curious travelers. Number 5. High on a misty mountain ridge in North Carolina lies the remnants of a yellow brick road that once enchanted thousands. The Land of Oz theme park in Beach Mountain opened in 1970, with elaborate sets, costumed actors, and an immersive walk-through retelling of The Wizard of Oz. After a fire and declining interest, the park closed in 1980, leaving behind rusting gates and wind-blown poppies. For years, the site sat mostly abandoned, its Emerald City quietly fading into the trees. In the early 2000s, restoration efforts began, and now the park opens a few weekends each year for nostalgic fans. The mix of intact, decaying, and rebuilt areas creates a dreamlike experience unlike any other. Number 4. A rusting Ferris wheel creaks in the Berlin wind, surrounded by toppled dinosaur statues and graffiti-covered swan boats. That's the strange beauty of Spree Park. Located in the Planterwald Forest, this East German amusement park opened in 1969 and thrived under the GDR regime before falling into disrepair after reunification. It officially closed in 2002, when its operator was arrested for drug smuggling, adding an extra layer of intrigue to its collapse. For years, its eerie ruins drew urban explorers who tiptoed past broken tracks and skeletal rides hidden among thick trees. A handful of guided tours are now allowed, as the city debates how to redevelop the land without erasing its unusual past. The park's fusion of Cold War history, strange sculptures, and nature's slow takeover makes it one of the most visually compelling abandoned places in Europe. Number 3. Imagine Disneyland, but eerily empty, crumbling, and wrapped in fog. That was Nara Dreamland in Nara, Japan. Opened in 1961 as a near replica of the original California Disneyland, it featured its own Main Street, Sleeping Beauty-style castle, and Matterhorn-inspired coaster. Despite decades of delighting families, attendance began to plummet in the 1990s as real Disney and Universal parks opened nearby. By 2006, the gates were locked for good, leaving a pristine ghost town of fantasy architecture and rusting rides. Urban explorers soon turned it into a legendary destination, capturing haunting scenes of decayed Americana transplanted into Japan. Though demolition began in 2016, the eerie symmetry of the abandoned park still haunts online image boards and video essays. Number 2. When Hurricane Katrina struck in 2005, Six Flags New Orleans didn't just shut down, it was swallowed. The once bustling park had been a colorful escape filled with coasters, cartoon mascots, and summer memories. But after the floodwaters came, it was left submerged and forgotten. Rides rusted in place, midway games sat waterlogged, and nature slowly crept back in, transforming the park into a post-apocalyptic landscape. Universal filmed parts of Jurassic World there, adding to its mystique as a ruin frozen in cinematic stillness. Though various redevelopment plans have come and gone, none have fully materialized, and the site remains heavily guarded and dangerously unstable. Its twisted steel skeletons and peeling signage still lure urban explorers and ghost hunters alike. For many, Six Flags New Orleans is more than an abandoned theme park. It's a symbol of a city's trauma, resilience, and still echoing silence. If you enjoy our content, please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. And with that out of the way, number 1. 6 days before it was meant to open, Pripyat Amusement Park in Ukraine became a global symbol of catastrophe. Built to serve the families of workers at the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant, the park was scheduled to open on May 1, 1986. But the meltdown on April 26th changed everything. In a surreal twist, the park reportedly briefly opened for a few hours to distract residents during the evacuation period, but no one ever returned for a proper visit. Its yellow Ferris wheel, bumper cars, and spinning rides now sit frozen in radioactive decay, becoming iconic images of post-apocalyptic desolation. Decades later, the park remains inside the Chernobyl exclusion zone, where tourists visit in hazmat suits and silence. The lingering radiation and visual eeriness create a setting unlike any other on Earth. Few places convey the fragility of normal life as powerfully as the abandoned joyrides in Pripyat. That was a bit of a haunting list, huh? If you'd like to keep watching, check out one of these videos.